If a determined time traveler had succeeded in eliminating baby Hitler, history's tapestry would have been rewoven in ways both profound and unpredictable. Although such what-if scenarios are inherently speculative, several key themes emerge from deep alternate history research and discussion. 1. The role of structural forces versus a single individual. A product of its time. Historians agree that Hitler did not emerge in a vacuum. Post-World War I Germany was racked by economic collapse, national humiliation from the Treaty of Versailles, and a volatile political landscape. These structural forces primed the country for radical ideologies. Without Hitler's singular charisma and ruthless leadership, it's possible that another nationalist or demagogue would have risen to fill the void, albeit perhaps with a different style or level of brutality. In other words, while the elimination of one individual might have spared the world his particular brand of tyranny, the underlying conditions could have still fostered extremist movements. See discussions on structural determinism in alternate history forums and scholarly debates on Weimar Germany. 2. Immediate effects on German politics and the Nazi movement. Nazi Party trajectory. Hitler's presence provided the Nazi Party with a unifying, mythic figure capable of galvanizing the masses. Without him, the party might have splintered or taken on a less cohesive, less virulent form. The iconic symbols, rhetoric and propaganda that elevated Nazism to a mass movement might have been muted or replaced by a more fragmented far-right movement. This in turn could have altered German rearmament, foreign policy, and the timeline, or even the outbreak, of a major conflict in Europe. Diplomatic and military implications. If a less potent nationalist had steered Germany, the aggressive expansionism that precipitated World War II might have been delayed or taken on a different character. The Holocaust, as orchestrated under Hitler's personal obsession and ideological vision, might have been less systematic or intense, potentially sparing millions of lives. Yet the lingering resentment from the Treaty of Versailles and economic despair might have still spurred regional conflicts, albeit perhaps on a smaller scale. Scholars in alternate history often debate whether eliminating a key figure like Hitler would have precluded World War II entirely or simply altered its nature. 3. Global repercussions in the post-war world order. Altered balance of power. Assuming that without Hitler a catastrophic global war was at least postponed or its scope diminished, the geopolitical landscape of the mid-20th century would look markedly different. The rapid emergence of the United States and the Soviet Union as superpowers might have been delayed or taken alternative paths. European reconstruction, decolonization, and even the Cold War could have followed an entirely different trajectory, potentially reducing the scale of human suffering in the 20th century. Cultural and intellectual shifts. Hitler's impact extended beyond military conquest. His actions catalyzed profound cultural and intellectual shifts worldwide. The horrors of the Holocaust and the devastation of the war led to new international laws, human rights initiatives, and philosophical debates about evil and responsibility. In a timeline without baby Hitler, these debates might have emerged later or been framed differently, possibly leading to a less rapid evolution of human rights norms and post-war international cooperation. 4. Unintended consequences and the butterfly effect. Emergence of a different Hitler. A recurring theme in alternate history is the butterfly effect. Small changes in the past can lead to vast, unforeseen differences in the future. The vacuum left by Hitler might have invited an even more unpredictable or brutal leader. In this scenario, while one infamous individual is removed, the systemic conditions that breed extremism remain, and history could have taken a darker turn in ways we can scarcely imagine. Technological, social, and ideological ripple effects. The wartime innovations, social reforms, and even the art and literature that emerged from the real World War II might have been radically different. For instance, the accelerated technological race spurred by the war, ranging from nuclear research to space exploration, might have been delayed. Similarly, the post-war social movements, civil rights, decolonization, etc., that were, in part, reactions to the atrocities of the war might have followed alternative paths, potentially reshaping modern society in profound ways. Conclusion. In summary, the hypothetical murder of baby Hitler would have set off a complex chain reaction. On one hand, it might have spared the world the precise horrors of Nazi genocide and a world war of unparalleled scale. On the other hand, the deep-rooted economic, social, and political forces in early 20th century Europe suggest that radical, nationalist movements were almost inevitable. History might have witnessed a different, but still turbulent, path to conflict and transformation, one where the absence of a singular tyrant does not eliminate the underlying causes of extremism. This thought experiment underscores that history is rarely the product of one individual alone but the interplay of myriad forces, where even the removal of a key figure could have unforeseen and far-reaching consequences.